Hi guys, welcome back to the MAFA podcast where we talk about debunking conspiracy theories. And in our first episode, we talked about UFO sightings and so on. And during this episode, we're going to talk about the pyramids, how they were made. And joining us today is, like always, Muhammad. I'm Ali. This is Abdi, and this is Fahad. So in today's episode, We're gonna start off with Muhammad, telling us more about the pyramid conspiracy theory, and we would like to thank our cameraman Shatti. Thank you guys.
So I'd like to start this episode off with asking, how you guys actually think the pyramids were made, since it's a very popular conspiracy theory and a very precise and accurate building. So either Abdi or Ali or Fahad, what's your conspiracy theory about the pyramids?
If you guys don't mind with me starting off, my theory is that aliens built it because back then, during the Pharaoh's time, it was very hard to make buildings that accurate. And even though the Pharaoh enslaved a lot of people, it was very hard for him to force that many people to build that many pyramids in a short period of time. And what I can talk about is that the Journal of Archaeological Science detailed evidence that copper and tools and simple machines like ramps and sledges were sufficient for the constructions of the pyramids, which we believe that the ancient Egyptians did not have. So even so, they might have had technology or help or assistance from maybe extraterrestrial life forms, not necessarily the aliens we talk about in movies, but there were aliens at work. What do you think?
From my point, I would agree with Ali. There's some kind of something fishy about the pyramids. It can't be no way possible that at that time human could build the pyramids all by their own. I would agree with Ali about thinking that aliens might give them some knowledge or technology so they can build the pyramids. What do you think, Fahad?
Thank you, Abdi and Ali. While these theories are fascinating, to be honest, I more take a more logical path, which is that there is a substantial evidence supporting the conventional view that the pyramids were constructed using tools and techniques available to the ancient Egyptians. The Journal of Archaeological Science provides a detailed analysis showing that copper tools and simple machines like ramps and sledges were sufficient for the construction of the pyramids. And also, a fun fact is that they used the Nile to transport these big stones. Smith, 2019.
I 100% agree with what Fahad's saying. I think any conspiracy theory, like aliens or all that thing, I think it's completely false because we have so much information, so much evidence supporting that tools were used to make the pyramids and that um, people were there, and even though it's very precise and accurate on how it was made, and even though some people might say that all the stones were too heavy, but the construction techniques that were used according to uh, University of Chicago Press, these construction techniques, there are many and they are very helpful, such as using ramps, lever systems, water transport, as how Fed said, transporting through the Nile River using ramps, zigzagging and spiraling ramps. Ramps that are like a crucial role to lift up the heavy stone, and lever systems, for example, uh, they lift the stones as well into place. And there are many more theories, many more construction techniques, and all that.
While your points are valid, there's also a psychological and cultural aspect to consider. A lot of people believe that, okay, even though the Journal of Abnormal Psychology discusses how cognitive basis can lead people to make them think, see rather things that aren't actually there, we can't see what was back in time, you know. So who are we to say that aliens did not build it? Because even though your points are kind of valid, I disagree. Because to an extent, the pyramids were very accurate, and I personally believe that back then the only explanation would be extraterrestrial life, in this case aliens, because how can it, with no advanced technology, with nothing whatsoever, boom, pyramids. The pharaoh wanted a lot of pyramids. He did enslave people. He did have people to try to build the pyramids, but how efficient was it?
I do have a question, Ali. Do you have any evidence for what you just said?
Not necessarily. Like, I mean, I do not technically have evidence, but to disprove something just because we can't see it would be like ignorant, you know?
But you're claiming just nonsense.
While you might say that, others may believe that because things aren't there or because we can't see it or because lack of historical evidence is there does not mean it did not happen. A lot of things do not lack historical evidence. That does not mean they didn't happen. Let's say, for example, you ate breakfast this morning. You did not take a picture of your breakfast and you threw out the trash. If I told you now, show me what you ate for breakfast, could you show it to me now?
So I honestly think as well that what you're saying is complete nonsense. First of all, you have no source backing up that aliens actually did this. But I wouldn't like to give you all the pressure and heat. What do you think, Abdi?
Okay, I want to support Ali by some points, but before anything, okay, let's think about it, okay, Muhammad. So first of all, the height of the pyramid is like 485 feet height, okay? You can't say with that height of the pyramids that they can build it like that precise. And more of the weight of each block, it might be between 2.5 to 15 tons. It's also heavy and the height is impossible. There's no possible way that the human being could do all that stuff without the support or the help from the aliens.
Actually, if you bring up aliens, you're gonna open a whole other conspiracy theory onto if aliens are real or not. But as I already mentioned, I know the blocks were really heavy. That's why they use construction techniques, as I stated, such as lever systems, ramps, sledges, and lubrication. All that to help carry the heavy stone. And talking about how precise it was made, the Egyptians back in the day used something called astronomical alignment. This since the Great Pyramid is aligned to true north, only about 3 accrements of error. The engineers used the stars to place the rocks and all that. And not only that, math and geometry was used to create the pyramids. So I think with all the knowledge they had back in the day and all the things they had, they it truly shows that we did make them. We did create the pyramids. Not only that, but there were tools and quarry sites in Egypt being used. So if aliens made it, aliens aren't gonna use normal tools that we use in the day. They're probably gonna use some new technological tool. But there's been evidence, according to the University of Chicago Press and the History Channel, that the archaeologists have discovered tools used by the ancient Egyptian, such as copper, chisels, wooden mallets, stone hammers, quarry sites near the pyramids itself. And what do you guys have to say about this?
You kept going on and on about their math and their engineering, but do you really think that their math was that accurate back then? Most of the like math theorems weren't even discovered. A lot of people were not mathematicians, you know? So like I don't think it's like this it's the same way that I can't say their math was accurate. You can't tell me that aliens did not help build it because it was so accurate. You kept saying that true north or whatever that is. I have no idea what that is. Okay, was slightly inaccurate. So maybe their math was not accurate either, but the pyramids are. So that does not make any sense.
I see what you're trying to say, but I mentioned this before. Okay, maybe as you said, their math isn't accurate, but that's completely false. You would never know if it's inaccurate or accurate. But as I said, archaeologists found tools and quarry sites. So how do you explain that? Do you think aliens used human tools?
I have no idea how the aliens made it. Maybe they used their own technology. Maybe they adapted their own technology. We have no idea what kind of technologies these aliens hold or have. And but I think that we cannot just simply say that oh aliens did not make it just because did they have human tools or not? Because that wouldn't make any sense. Because like maybe they just spawned it. Like they just came to life.
Ali and Abdi, you both have like a good idea, okay? but they're basically just a child's thinking, you know,
Agreed.
because you don't have any proof behind what you're saying. There isn't any concrete evidence. You aren't using sources. So,
Yeah.
do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah. All you guys are saying. Sorry for interrupting you, Abdi. Is that aliens spawned it, aliens did that, but no sources, no evidence. How are we supposed to believe that it's true? Whereas we've seen evidence of tools, queries, and all that. So obviously we're gonna lean to the side where we can see physical evidence. Whereas in aliens you can't see anything.
Can I say something?
Yes.
So first of all, I might get your point from you and like from Fahad, but like there's like something called like estimating or like imagining the possibilities. Okay, it can be correct, it can be wrong. That's just imagination. That's me just like trying to guess how that happened, because like if you think about it, like the way of the how they build the pyramids, even like at that time you said like they use some geometry and math, right? Right now our math and geometry and all that stuff have like evolved to better and better until now, and there are some doctors and engineers, professional engineers, that they're still confused and surprised how the way they built the pyramids at that time. And moreover about like the references and all that stuff, it might be something happened between us and the aliens that like disconnected us and made the knowledge have been lost. Like some secret knowledge is still there or hidden, it's still at the pyramid. There's still some tunnels and secret the tombs there that might have like a secret information about like the aliens that until now we didn't discover. And about the tools that you were saying about like there's some tools they still use at that time at Egypt for building the pyramids, and there's no way alien will use that tools. Maybe those tools were for the slaves for the pharaoh.
Can I add a point to that? What you're saying, Abdi? I think that what you're saying is somewhat valid. So like you kept saying that we forget and so on. It's like maybe the knowledge went away, but I believe that the knowledge is still there. Maybe the Egyptian gods, okay, that are set inside the pyramid itself are not actually Egyptian gods. Maybe they're aliens and the Egyptians perceived them as God because maybe they gave them a gift as the gift of the pyramids. So maybe it's like their way of saying that, oh, these people helped us, but because the knowledge is gone, like let's say the sun god Ra or so on, that was in Egypt. Maybe the sun god Ra isn't like a sun god. He's maybe is an alien that they saw. We cannot simply deny something just because we didn't see it. Fahad, were you there when the pyramids were built? No. So how can you tell me that aliens did do it? Didn't do it?
Were you there to tell
I
me
was
that
not-
aliens did do it?
I was not there, but since I have no evidence to falsify it, I cannot say that it's false.
Okay, before going for any further, I just have to get back to a point that Abdi said. You were talking about all those tunnels that are in the pyramids, like how they have some lost technology and stuff like that. Um, was there any expeditions sent to explore those tunnels?
So like what I'm trying to say is like those types of knowledge that like the forgotten knowledge or like the lost knowledge that it was still, it might be in the tombs or the chambers, the hidden chambers. Just as one of my reference from Marshmallow 2017, their scientists have used advanced technology to look for hidden chambers, but they found nothing confirming secret knowledge. So what I'm trying to say is like there's some chambers that until now until that time we can't find it because like for some reason the calculation and the geometry or maybe this help of some aliens that we can't find those things until maybe the near future.
Okay, I just wanna clear something up. So I'm just gonna give you more evidence that us humans actually created this. According to Brown University, 2015, um, uh, agent ancient texts such as Diary of Mir provide insights into the logistic and administration aspects of pyramid construction. So it's text of how the pyramid was being made. These records show continuous improvements and refinements in techniques over time, indicating that there has been an evolving in knowledge for the Egyptians while creating these pyramids. But I want to ask both of you a question. So now, in current modern day, do you think us humans can recreate the pyramid? Yes or no? Just a clear answer, yes or no?
Yes, we can, but that does not necessarily mean that back then they could have done it again. Like there are a set number of pyramids, and that does not mean, okay, since we have the tools now, I'm talking about ancient times. Back then they did not have the necessary tools or math to make it that accurate. If we look at the pyramids now, they are accurate and they were built years ago. They are durable and they have withstood thousands of years of God knows what. Okay, so we cannot simply say that, oh, back then they had the tools, because we all know that they didn't,
So
or
yeah,
at least me and Abdi know.
I'm sorry to interrupt,
no, it's
but
okay.
I know. So if we can do it now, why couldn't they do it before? I know you're saying math, but how do you know that math knowledge there once the same as us? Maybe it was enough needed for them to be able to build a pyramid. All the techniques they created, all the things they did to actually carry the stone and accurately place them, and all that was made because of the techniques me and Fahd mentioned. So why couldn't they? Why could we do it now and they not do it later? Because honestly, it should be the other way around. Like us, for example, the technology we have might not be able to actually lift the thing. Maybe we'd have to resort to another technique. So I personally think if we could do it now, then they 100% could do it before.
But Muhammad, like I just want to say something, okay? You said that point, but like if you think about it, we can build the pyramids right now because we have the vehicles, we have the replica of the other elements too. They might use stone, we might use other replicas other than stone because it might be heavy. So there's another ways, another methods to find ways to build the pyramids that we have like currently available to have because of the things that we have in our generation right now. Back then, they don't have vehicles or they just have like human resource. That's it. So it's kind of impossible. Like it doesn't make any sense that humans, like for us humans, there's some limitation for us, except in like our knowledge. But saying that human beings can lift 15 tons of stone with that height, as if and with that exact precise, and until now they didn't demolish the building, like it's kind of surprising for me, you know. And like moreover, like with all that stuff, I think like for my own point and with Ali point that UFOs or like aliens might be real and like they help us build the
Can I
pyramids.
add a point? Muhammad, you kept talking about that if we could build the pyramids now and so on, that means they could build it back then. But I'll give you an example. On October 15th, 1993, the Luxor Hotel and Casino was opened in Vegas, which is shaped like a pyramid and has a sphinx in the top. So that does not necessarily mean that since they could do that, we could not do that either.
I don't get what you're saying.
What I'm trying to say is that, anyways, guys, since we all have a series of topics and so on, and Muhammad made some valid points, and Fahad and Abdi, so should we go to our closing remarks?
Yes. I think with all the information we've said, I think it's clear to say that with all the sources we had, me and Fad backing up our ideas, I think it's clear to say and enough to say that what we said is true. Since you guys made some good points but have no sources backing you up, and all are like false information.
I do agree with what Awad is saying, and that we just have more proof, and you guys' ideas were uh, kind of invalid.
Anyways, thank you, everyone. Let's see what the viewers think. Do the viewers think that just because me and Abdi did not have any sources to back us up, does that necessarily make us wrong? I personally believe that everyone has the right to have their own theory, and that does not necessarily falsify what they think just because there is no hardcore evidence for it being there. So let's see what the viewers think. Let's see, maybe the viewers have a different point of view other than me and Abdi and Awad. And I'd just like to say thank you to everyone. Thank you, Shatti. Thank you, cameraman, Awad, Fahad, Abdi, and thank you, Stephen. And we hope you guys enjoyed.